All right, everyone, and welcome back to That Variety Nerd. I'm Christina, and today we are diving back into some more Sims 4 Realm of Magic goodness. So, today we're doing something a little bit, actually, no, a lot different than what we usually do on this channel. So, I've been wanting to do this for quite some time, but I haven't had, like the timing wasn't there. Like, you know how sometimes just in general, whether that's life or that's video games, whatever, sometimes the timing is not there. You know what I mean? And so what I decided to do was to show you all the tentative build. I say very tentative because this is, again, the shell. It's not the finished product for what we're going to be using in the Let's Play. So I got an idea while I was watching the Maxis sort of walkthrough of the pack. I think it was on Friday, like last Friday. Yeah, because this one's coming out on Friday slash today slash whatever. So a week ago when they were going through that walkthrough for a couple of hours, I got the inspiration from Glimmerbrook to turn a empty lot or some sort of lot into a treehouse build. And so I thought, oh wait, wasn't there a book series on this? So the book is actually called, or the book series is actually called The Magic Treehouse. But obviously, copyright can get pretty sensitive, so we're going to be calling this a Magic Treehouse because you know what? Like, I mean, to be fair, Ohio State recently just failed to trademark the word the. So I'm like, okay, maybe if I switch up the articles, that might make it sound a little bit better. But there was a book series, there were three book series that I read growing up that just really stood out to me, maybe four or five, all for various reasons and reading levels and all that stuff. So my top five reading series when I was growing up, at least in terms of like what I remember reading. First of all, on the bad end of the spectrum, we got Twilight books. But to be fair, the books were definitely better than the movies because they were a little bit more detailed. They actually included some shred of character development. It wasn't the worst thing ever. Like the first couple of books were decent, but then like Breaking Dawn came out and like it just all went to crap. I read The Hunger Games. I read Harry Potter. I actually remember waiting in line for the very last Harry Potter book, and I remember I read it in like two sittings or something. It was kind of ridiculous. Earlier in my childhood, so before even I got into Harry Potter, so like I got into Harry Potter around the time I was like 8 or 9 years old. And so before that, when you're starting out reading, you want to read something that's a little bit more like on your reading level. My parents were all are actually told, like, and myself included, like I was reading so much to where I was like getting a little bit more advanced and everything. So it was like one of those weird things. Now it's like I try to read when I can. Think smarter, not harder. But I'll dive into like a little bit more of the lore in just a second behind this house. Again, I feel like that's something that's missing from The Sims just in general is like lore. But right here is actually a space that my characters in the Let's Play. Oh, okay. I just heard like a really loud siren outside for no reason. But this area, their Sims are not going to know, so it's going to be like the equivalent of like how in wrestling there's like the Money in the Bank briefcase. You're not going to know when on earth they're going to cash in, slash, they're not going to know, you all are not going to know when we're going to be diving into these sort of catacombs underground tunnel. I thought it'd be kind of a cool thing to try, so that's what I was kind of going for. That way, this is the space where they're going to practice their magic once they discover this. So, again, the lot itself basically said that it was abandoned by spellcasters. And so I wanted to play off of that and do something like an underground sort of tunnel, like, you know, you have to keep this stuff hidden, like that sort of realm. Pun intended. But getting back to the general lore. So, there were two other series. One was the Boxcar Children, and the other was the Magic Treehouse series. So, the Magic Treehouse series, according to our good old pal Wikipedia, so I thought when I was watching the Let's like the I thought when I was watching the live stream, well, I wasn't watching it live. I watched it later in the day because I had things to do that day. But I thought, oh my god, this is the perfect time to do the Magic Treehouse. And so I thought, so essentially what it is, it's a children's historical fantasy book. So at least it has that going for it. So there are two different groups of books. So yeah, it's kind of bizarre. It's a whole thing. If you want to read more about it, then, but basically, like they go traveling to all these different places, and then yeah, it's kind of a little bizarre. So, but generally speaking, they're all kinds of just books. about like just different locations, different adventures. Kind of self-explanatory, right? So they have this treehouse and they just kind of just go exploring essentially. Sometimes there's time travel in there. Actually, no, there's definitely time travel in there, and that's how you usually write things out. So that's pretty cool. And so the reason why I'm including this little anecdote is because it's like the Magic Treehouse, like it had a movie, it had a little bit of everything. So there's that. So that's kind of where we're going. And so the reason why they went with the treehouse is I'm trying to look this on Wikipedia, my bad. I know, such reliable information, such reliable sources, right? Right. But generally speaking, it's about these kids that basically time travel and they have a magical treehouse, and that's kind of the best way I can describe it. They just go on all these crazy adventures, and like when you're a young and impressionable child, like, why not? So I kind of just wanted to do something with tree houses in general for like the longest time, but the timing wasn't right. Like I could have done tree house as an outdoor retreat, but like that pack's already been like out in the market for a few years now, and I'm like, there's no point in doing an outdoor retreat let's play if this game's like God knows how long. I say as I'm still working on the Moving On Up challenge, but to be fair, that one's more of a challenge more so than like a let's play. Which the Let's Play's coming out. It totally is. It's a thing. We're gonna do a quick like makeover video. That's something I want to do because I want to explore Cass a little bit more. But I actually already renovated all five of the lots. Not some of my best work, but we made it work. Sorry, there's like something that's like launched into my throat essentially. Like I was eating a couple pieces of popcorn this morning, and yeah, that happened. But yeah, so with that lore sort of tucked away, so pretty much to set up the Let's Play, um, we're using the two twin daughters from Island Living. We did like a whole near 4 hour Twitch stream where we were kind of checking in on the family and stuff like that. We were originally going to be like, oh, okay, well, they're children, like maybe they can move out when they're teens, like that sort of thing. But then I was like, y'all, let's just age them up. Like, we got one parent that's an elder, the other one that's an adult. It's fine. And so I was like, you know what? Let's do some tree houses. Like, the thing is that each twin has like a unique set of skills, which we're gonna replicate in the Let's Play. So one of them's gonna go for more the practical side of magic and like stuff like that. We're in potion making and that sort of thing. One of them's gonna be more into potion making. The other one's going to be more so into just like the magical side of things. So they're basically going to get one of the aspirations each, and the aspirations, once I load them up here, are going to be as follow. As follows. Oh God, I can't even talk, fam. It's fine. So yeah, I'm just drinking some coffee. I got like three more videos to voice over after this one, so actually no, I got two more after this one. One's like one's gonna be really long, so bear with it here. But here's what we got here. So we got a brand new world of Glimmerbrook, and so we have two new aspirations: spellcraft and sorcery, and purveyor of potions. So one twin's gonna go for each of those respectively, and so I want them to have kind of like a dedicated, like, they're gonna have different personalities. That's just sort of the thing. I know it's a little bit cliche to do that when you're thinking about twins, but I thought like it worked. Like, there's precedent. We got freaking like the Vampire Diaries, right? So if you look at the Vampire Diaries, they have like, oh God, actually no. Before the Vampire Diaries, we had Harry Potter with the Weasley twins, right? Fred and George. Oh my God. So yeah, they both like had pretty similar personalities. And like, I don't know, to me I love those two so much. Like they were some of my favorite characters, and like yeah, they were very practical, like as in like they did a lot of like pranks and stuff like that. But they were still pretty decent like wizards in the end, right? So it's kind of like, okay, cool, like we can do this. We can make this work. So I thought about Fred and George. I thought about how the Vampire Diaries has like two twin daughters. And so I'm like, you know what? We're gonna do this. We're gonna make this work. And the two twin daughters, I think they were born. I want to say in the seventh season, maybe eighth season. No, definitely the seventh season, I think. Sixth or seventh season. It was one of the later seasons. Um, if you're planning on watching that show, the first four seasons are great. The last season's pretty good. Five through seven are kind of weird. I'm only saying eight's thrown in there is because we don't have like Elena in that season. Spoiler alert. Actually, no, that's not really a spoiler alert. I don't know. But generally speaking, so one of the main characters that eventually becomes more of a main character throughout the series, Lark Saltzman, like he falls in love with a woman named Jo. Jo just so happens to have like powerful witchcraft bloodline sort of thing. And so they have two twin daughters. Jo dies after getting attacked at their wedding. And so the children are safe. And so Caroline, who's always been a main character and like one of the redeeming characters of that show, to be completely honest, she takes them in as like a surrogate mother almost. So, slash adoptive parent, slash, yeah, pretty much surrogate mother. And so her and Alark, they open up a school where the Salvatore brothers once lived. And so that school is helping like kids and teenagers like control their magic essentially. If you think about it to another show, it's kind of similar to like American Horror Story Coven and Apocalypse and just the American Horror Story environment just in general, where they had like Miss Robichaux's academy. And so like they're trying to help these young kids like control their magic and stuff like that. And so the way that we're weaving this into the story is that so in the Island Living Let's Play, our original main character that we had for the first half of the series, Felicity, she adopted a child named Presley. Presley was adopted, meaning that they don't know much about, like, even she doesn't know much about her own family history, essentially. And so the way that we're weaving this in is that maybe the magic skipped a generation, right? Because Presley's just like, conservationist. Like, she's the head honcho of conservationist career and stuff like that. Lario's just like Lario, the father who Presley married. They basically had the two girls, and that's all they wanted. They're like, you know what, we're just going to do the one pregnancy. We'll get twins if we have one child, that's fine. That sort of thing. And so we weaved it in because like they were born in Sulani and like you have the spirits and all of that. So we kind of wove that in into like, okay, maybe this is an extension. Like instead of mermaids, maybe they gain some magical powers, that sort of thing. So it skips a generation because Presley obviously does not have it. So it went to her daughters. So that's kind of how we weave it in to this new Let's Play and kind of connecting the pieces together a little bit more. Because the Sims lore in The Sims 4 is non existent. So we gotta have some fun with it, a little bit of liberty and all that good stuff. And plus, it makes things a little bit more interesting for me anyway, so there's that. But generally speaking, I kind of like how this turned out. Of course, this is a very rough sketch, as in, like, if you want to have something like this, you can. Again, all my renovations are already up on the gallery, so there's that. Didn't mean for that to be included, but it's fine, right? Right. Yeah, so again, I wasn't sure like what was going on 100%. Oh yeah, and then again, you find these little things that you haven't gotten to yet. So we have an outhouse instead because like again, these are very much tiny builds in a nutshell. So again, I really hope that you liked this particular build. I know I probably shouldn't have included the gallery stuff, but I'm too lazy to edit it out. But generally speaking, that's the view that you're going to get from your deck, which is really nice. There's a top outdoor area, so that way if they want seating, company, all that stuff, they can do that up there. If they want to practice their magic out in the open, they can do that as well. But generally speaking, I hope you all really enjoy this video in our series of Sims for a Realm of Magic renovations and builds. Stay tuned for some more. We'll have two more underway. One, both in larger houses, so get excited about that. And stay tuned for the Realm of Magic Let's Play coming out sometime, probably next week. So again, please like, subscribe, comment, all of that fun stuff, and I will see you all later. Bye, everyone.